Hey everybody, welcome back to Body Time. Harry McCully here. We're getting word of an officer-involved shooting down in Lafourche Parish. State police has been notified to try and come in and investigate the situation. Ross Brennan, who is the Louisiana State Police Troop C Officer of Public Information, is joining us from that scene. Ross, what can you tell us at this moment?
Yeah, so like you said, state police is investigating. Around 12 lunchtime, the Lafourche Sheriff's Office received a call about a disturbance in the 200 block of West 133rd Street in Cutoff. Upon arrival, there was Lafourche Parish Sheriff deputies and also an officer with the Harbor Patrol, Port Fourchon Harbor Patrol. As they arrived, they actually started receiving gunfire from a suspect inside of that residence. This resulted in the Harbor Patrol officer discharging his service weapon and striking that subject. The subject did die at the scene, and like I said, the Louisiana State Police is the investigating agency, and we're going to be handling this from here out.
I see. So do you know what kind of disturbance it was? Is this a domestic disturbance or is that part of the investigation?
That's still something that our agency is trying to determine. I saw where Lafourche Sheriff's Office was saying it was a domestic disturbance, but that's still something that our agency is trying to determine, looking at call logs, witness statements, talking to officers, things like that.
Okay. How many officers responded to this complaint, and how many are involved in the shooting here?
The actual number that were on scene, that's still something I'm trying to gather. But the one that fired was a Port Fourchon Harbor officer, and no officers were injured during this incident.
Okay. I know again, you just started this investigation, so this is very fresh as we're speaking about it. Can you tell if they were familiar with the suspect when they showed up, that this was somebody they deal with on a regular basis?
Yeah, that's something that, like I said, our department still will have to figure out. Talking with the agencies that were involved in it, but that's still something that we're working out at state police.
Okay. So Port Fourchon, somebody had responded to it from the Port Fourchon area. They are normal sheriff's deputies for Lafourche Parish with Port Fourchon?
Well, typically they respond to officers that are, since it's so close to each other, they'll back up whether it's a food sheriff's deputy or even sometimes our guys too. So it just kind of depends on where they're at. They're all part of that same radio channel, so they can hear calls for service also. So again, it's just helping each other out in their agencies, just working together.
I see. I see. So, yeah, if we're talking about where it's at, it's got a cutoff address, obviously, but it's almost down by Our Lady of the Sea Church, right? Just one street off of there. So it's actually pretty far down, down the four lanes and or LA 1,
Yeah.
whichever it would be.
Well,
It's actually pretty far south. Huh?
yeah, it's right by the hospital. It's actually one street north of the hospital, where the street that the hospital's on.
Yeah. So, folks that are not familiar, you got La Rose, you got Cutoff, you got Galliano, you got Golden Meadow. Those are all in those areas in between Golden Meadow and Galliano and Cutoff right there in that area. So, Russ, talk to me a little bit about the protocol and why state police would be called in to an event like this.
Typically, we're requested as an outside agency to provide kind of an unbiased view of the investigation. Whenever you have somebody who isn't directly involved in it, it can, like I said, unbiased, a different set of eyes looking at it. Just pretty standard protocol in our area. It does kind of depend kind of where it's at. Sometimes if it's in the city limits, maybe the city police will investigate it if it was something that the sheriff's office was involved in. But 9 times out of 10, state police is involved to investigate.
Right. And how long will this investigation take before they come up with what they think?
So typically it takes a while. I mean, you got to look at witness statements, canvass the area for maybe surveillance footage, go back, look at body camera, call logs. So it does take a little bit of a while, and that's general for every officer involved or any type of investigation that state police handles like
R-
this.
Right. So again, you're just showing up on the scene, but do we know if anybody there is any other arrests that are going on with this situation? If there was another family member, a wife, kids that were involved in this situation?
Yeah, that's something that our department's still working out. Like I said, we got to talk with the sheriff's office and the harbor patrol to kind of get a fuller idea of that information.
I see. So again, this was at a noon time. So a lot of times, some of these things happen when there's maybe alcohol involved late at night, nefarious things, but a noon situation seems to be, it would, in your opinion, is this a little different to have something happen around noon?
Like I said, like typically we kind of get call outs late at night, but this is not the first time something happened during the daytime. So stuff can happen at any hour of the day.
Yeah. So, the scene is under control though.
Yeah,
They're not having a manhunt. They're not looking for other suspects. It seems
no,
to be one person and one person alone.
yeah. There's no more threat to public safety. We do have the road blocked off, so if you are trying to get down West 133rd, I advise um, either hold off or try to find a different route, whether you live at the front or the back. We're kind of right in the center, the 200 block. So yeah, public safety is fine. Everything is good out here. We're just handling our investigation at this point.
I see. So again, it's not LA1 and it's not the 4 lane. It's just 133rd. It's blocked off at this point.
Correct. Yeah, we're right in between LA1 and the 4 lane, and that's where we're at. We're kind of in the middle on the West 133rd right here.
Okay. about 15 seconds to go here. So Lafourche Parish is responding and they will be in charge of their own investigation as far as if there's any arrests or as that's concerned, right?
Yeah, what happened prior to it, that's part of their investigation, and then we handle the actual officer involved side
Sure.
of it that comes along.
I see. Ross Brennan, thank you so much. He's with Louisiana State Police. He's their public information officer, reporting from the scene of an officer involved shooting down in Cutoff. Thanks so much, Ross. We'll be right back with more Bite Time after this.